Welcome back to Nerds Like Us. Today we're doing our book review. Yay! So I've read 8 books this year, but I'm only going to review my top 3 right now because the review for the longer list is obviously a longer video, and I just wanted this to be a really quick, here's what you should give a chance. So first we're going to start off with The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Alboom. It is so good. It's about a man who dies trying to save a little girl at an amusement park where he works. And he goes through heaven and meets the 5 people that are waiting for him there. And they're waiting there because he impacted their lives somehow. And so it's not that they were important in his life, it's that he was important in theirs. So he meets these people and they tell him about his life and they teach him, and he learns everything about um, what his life was about and how he impacted other people. And at the end, he gets to find out if he saved the little girl. I'm not going to tell you if he does or not, but it's definitely heart-wrenching, and I feel like I learned a lot when I read it. I learned a lot about how I want to impact other people's lives, and I think that's sort of the point. I'm now reading Mitch Alboom's second book. You can't see it because it's on my bookshelf, but it's there. And I hope it lives up to the first one because this was fantastic. So the next one, these are not in the order that I read them or in a particular order that I liked them in, by the way. The next one was Divergent by Veronica Roth. Now, this is the first one. The next one is called Insurgent. I haven't read it yet. My friend is sending it to me, and I'm very excited. It's a dystopia. I love, 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 love dystopias. The Giver is one of my favorites. Uglies. I'm currently reading the Matched series, which is also really fantastic. So yeah, I'm a huge dystopias fan, and this totally lived up to that. It was so good. It was funny, but like you definitely connected to the characters, and I found myself for weeks wanting to know what faction I would be in, and um, really wanting to consider myself like Triss, who is the main character. I wanted to be like Triss, and so yeah, it was really, really well written. You could read this. It's several hundred pages. It's almost 500 pages. But you could go through this in a night or two if you were reading constantly because it's just so good. And there is no part that I think is bad or could be better. It's just brilliant. When I read Insurgent, I'll let you know how it went. And finally, we have the book that I mentioned in my first video. It's called This Star Won't Go Out. It's by Esther Earle. And the introduction is by John Green, which is really cool. Esther Earle was a nerd fighter like me. If you don't know what a nerd fighter is, go check out the Vlogbrothers. But assuming you do, she was a nerd fighter, and she died of cancer, unfortunately, when she was, I want to say 16. And this is just a collection of her journals and her letters, any nonfiction, fiction that she wrote, along with letters by her friends and family. Now, this book was really, really touching. I read it right after my Nana died, also of cancer. And I read it because I was going to read it anyway. I mean, it's Esther Earle, you have to read it if you're a nerd fighter. But I also thought that there might be some intelligent things that her family and friends might have to say about living with someone who has cancer or coping after their death. And they definitely do. I feel like I learned how to cope with a lot of things, and I feel like she gave me a very different perspective on life because even though she had this horrible cancer that eventually killed her, she had this really upbeat sort of spirit, and I really liked that. And she just gives you a whole new way to look at the world and look at your sufferings and trials, and I feel like it's a book that should be mandatory reading for anyone ever, just because it's so good. And I loved Esther before the book, but I found myself falling in love with her and her family. Like, it's not just her. You fall in love with her family and her friends, too. And that's what makes it such a great book. And it's funny and it's dramatic, and it makes you realize how amazing she is and how amazing life is. And you should always read one of those once in a while. So those are the top 3 books that I have read so far this year. I have read 8 total, but those are the best. I'm currently reading Matched and here it is, Kimberly's Capital Punishment, so I'll probably be doing a review of those pretty soon. I hope you're all doing really well, and have a spectacular day. Bye.